What's up guys, Maelstrom here. If you enjoyed then like and subscribe so I can keep on making these awesome videos for you guys. If you want the next part let me know down in the comments. What do you mean you won't give me those jutsu? I've always gotten what I wanted. Why can't I have 3 jutsu? Challenged an irate Sasuke. He had been arguing for the last 5 minutes and they still wouldn't give him a straight answer. Well, the Rasengan is a cage classified technique, and the only one alive that could teach it is Jiraiya. This absorption jutsu, we have absolutely no ninjutsu like that. The only people known that could absorb jutsu like that were the Uzumaki, and no one knows how they did it. Then this red cloak that boosted speed and strength. The only thing I could think of is, stated Homura. Sasuke had come to him, complaining that he was being held back. That is not a jutsu. Come with me Sasuke. This will help you understand. Minus 35 minutes later. And just why am I here again? If I remember correctly, this is the second time we've been called to meet this week, questioned Hayashi. Not that he minded, in fact, he loved these meetings. He usually gets what he wants, or just gets to flex his political muscle, which was the only thing he took any pride in these days, as his oldest daughter was weak, and Hanabi was still too much like his dead wife, but he would get her away from that soon enough. Yes, and why is the civilian council missing? Usually when they're not here something individual related has arisen, stated Chaoza. Right you are, Chaoza. My old teammate has brought up something that I believe should be shared with all of you at this table, stated Sarutobi. Come on in Naruto. Everyone turned towards the door, awaiting the entrance of the blonde. It wasn't surprising to any of the clan heads that Naruto was the cause of the meeting. Sasuke, who was sitting in a guest chair on the abandoned civilian side, stared at the door as if the very wooden fibers were holding back what was rightfully his. Man, he sure likes taking his time, said a voice near the back of the room. Most agreed until they actually turned around, only to see said blonde staring intently at the door. Okay, now he's just being a dick. Naruto-san, how exactly did you get in here? My insects informed me that you were not in the room when we started, and there was no chakra flare that would incite and transportation jutsu. Also, I was wondering if I could get glasses like you gave my son? Questioned Chibi. Most of the room was stunned that Naruto had gotten in unnoticed, though everyone was surprised by just how many words came out of Chibi's mouth. Like most of his clan, he was quiet and logical. In that order, I teleported in. I used my own version of the Hiraishin jutsu, which is basically the Hiraishin without a seal array. And what color would you like? I have most of them, except the color that I wear and that Shino has. The entire room gasped. A 13-year-old can use the Hiraishin and without the kunai? Black frames? Questioned Chibi. Naruto pulled out the scroll and unsealed a pair of black framed sunglasses and handed them to Chibi. Naruto then rolled up the scroll and placed it back in his vest. Now that fashion time is over, may we please get to the point of this meeting? Questioned Hayashi, clear disdain in his voice for what everyone else in the room thought was for wasting his time. May I ask Uzumaki, just how does that work? Shunshin uses chakra to boost speed to a high degree, and from what I've gathered, Hiraishin is a space-time jutsu. Quite simple really. The body adapts to certain jutsu over time, like how some Uchiha could use B-rank fire jutsu with no hand seals, or how Tobirama-sama could do the water dragon with only the dragon hand sign instead of the 40 to 45 hand signs most require. Now all of you know about my condition that gives me healing capabilities. Well, that helps me adapt to jutsu quicker. There was a time when I relied almost solely on the Hiraishin, and it allowed my body to adapt to it. Now, all I need to do is flood the area with my chakra and I can transport almost anywhere. Though for any distance more than about 50 feet, I still need the seal, stated Naruto. Maybe a year ago it was 50 feet, but they don't need to know that. Amazing to think that jutsu could be any deadlier than when Minato used it, stated Koharu. The old woman never did like the blonde-haired man much, though it wasn't for lack of trying. They just never saw eye to eye. She had just become too cold and unforgiving in her old age, mostly from the loss of her lover, and then her son not long ago, leaving her granddaughter Maji as the only thing left in her world that held any true value to her. Now that that's settled, may I ask why I've been called here? I was working on a new jutsu, and I'd like to get back to it, stated Naruto. Most of the council was once again surprised. With a lightning variant to the Rasengan and Hiraishin, Naruto was already near his father's moveset, and he was working on even more jutsu? Ah yes, Humora? Questioned Sarutobi. Ahem. It has come to my attention that Naruto-sama. Naruto glared at the old man. Naruto-san? Naruto nodded. Has several very high rank and unknown jutsu in his arsenal, including an elemental Rasengan and some form of jutsu that can absorb other jutsu. Also, it seems he can use that chakra, stated Humora. Is this true? Can you use its chakra? And if so, are there any ill effects or any chance that the seal is breaking? Asked Tsum. She knew better than to be anything less than respectful to the blonde teen. After all, he screamed alpha, and even being a high Jonin level in her own right, she could tell that this teen could defeat her like child's play. Yes, I've been trained to use it. I can use up to 6 tails and stay in control. Though at that level of Bu chakra I can't use jutsu, as I have not used that chakra enough to have anything more than genin level control. If it's a situation where I'm alone behind enemy lines, I can go to 8 tails, but I don't have control at that amount of power, stated Naruto as he took the Namake's seat and put his feet up on the Uzumaki seat, which were at the end of the table, facing the other council members. Is the tail amount proportionate to the beast? Questioned Shikaku, not bothering to lift his head from his arms. No, but as I've assessed myself at around low to mid Jonin when relaying on my own skills, when I use 1 tail I shoot to mid to high Jonin, at 3 tails I'm around low Kage, and at 6 tails I'm on par with Gigi in theory, except for the fact I would be all Tai or Kenjutsu at that point. And in a non-related incident, I found out that I can kill Orochimaru at 4, which is also how many I used in my Genin test versus Kakashi, stated Naruto. Everyone in the room other than Sasuke gasped, while Sasuke continued to seethe. Wait, you said you used 4 tails versus Kakashi, yet no one outside of your training ground felt it. Why? Questioned Tsum. Easy. I have mastered the 4-tail state, to the point I don't even transform anymore. Along with this total control, I can block off Kiwabi's hatred and malice if I want, which I did at the training ground. If I hadn't, half of Konoha would have been there in minutes looking for a fight. How do you know that you can kill Orochimaru? He is said to be the strongest Sannin? Questioned Inoichi. He was never a big Naruto fan. He had once used the mind-body swap on him when he was younger to examine his mental health, and he had almost lost his life when Naruto's very mind attacked him. Ever since then he had been wary of the boy. Ha! Jiraiya is by far the strongest. I should know. He's my godfather and has taught me much, stated Naruto. He hated it when his friends and family were bad-mouthed. As for Orochimaru, I put him in a near-death state before, only for him to be rescued by his teammate. I was attacked by him and his partner Sasori of the Red Sand about a year ago, right after I reached my 5th tail state and could somewhat control it. I almost killed the snake bastard, but Sasori saved him. You fought off Orochimaru and Sasori of the Red Sand alone and survived? I don't believe you, stated Hayashi. He refused to believe a 13-year-old had that type of power. I wasn't alone. I was with my sensei, who was the reason we were attacked in the first place. And as to who my sensei is, it is classified information until he or she gets back to the village, stated Naruto. Any other questions? What's this absorption jutsu? Is it anything like the legendary Uzumaki jutsu, or is it something else? Questioned Sarutobi, though he already knew the answer, as Naruto had told him. He needed to put on a show. Sorry old man, clan secret. Sasuke had finally had enough, and exploded. How come you have all these powerful jutsu? Why were you given advanced training, when I wasn't? Why is Jiraiya your godfather when he could be mine? What chakra are you relying on and why don't I have it? What makes you think you're better than the Uchiha? Now everyone in the room was staring at Sasuke with alarm. This was the boy everyone believed to be the golden child? He was just a spoiled brat. Naruto, however, was pissed. Everything you're about to hear, Sasuke, and everyone in this room, is an S-ranked secret. Should any of you spread this, I will kill you, and every person you told. Understood? Stated Naruto in an unerringly calm, yet rage-filled voice. Everyone nodded, including Sasuke. After all, even if he did tell someone, he was an Uchiha, so he wouldn't get in trouble anyways, or so he thought. I was born October 10th. And I was part of the reason that Kiwabi attacked. My mother Kushina Uzumaki held Kiwabi before me, and during my birth, there was an incident, causing Kiwabi to be released and my mother to die. My father, Minato Namikaze, the 4th Hokage, finally defeated the beast, but not by killing it. He sealed it into me, making me the 3rd Uzumaki to hold the 9-tailed fox. Before they died, my parents left a will, stating that I was to gain everything that they both owned, meaning all the Uzumaki assets, all the Namikaze land, and because Tsunade, my godmother, had left the village, control of the Senju estate, as my mother had been adopted by Mito Uzumaki Senju, before my mother took over from Mito Bajin as the Jinchuriki of the Kiwabi. Jiraiya was made my godfather by my father, seeing as he was a sensei, and was also the one to name me. I hold the Kiwabi because only an Uzumaki can hold the 8 or 9-tailed beast. There is a clan in Kumo that with the help of a special seal can hold the 8 tails. But that's about it. Mito-sama and Kushina-sama were Jinchuriki, sputtered out Chauza. Why didn't we know this? The same reason that no one of my generation knows I hold Kiwabi. The host of the Kiwabi has been guarded by a set of laws ever since Mito was made the first ever Jinchuriki. Laws that are only a year younger than this village. The only reason anyone knows about my being a Jinchuriki is because all the clan heads were informed the night of my birth, and the Uchiha spread the word to get back at my father, who had beat out not only Orochimaru, but Hayashi Hyuga and more importantly Fugaku Uchiha for the title of 4th Hokage. Ever since that day, the Uchiha have had a contract out on my head, stated Naruto. Most of the council had very little trouble believing this, as the Uchiha had always seen anyone stronger than them to be a threat, and it seemed Sasuke is no exception. I was taken out of the village about a week before the Uchiha Massacre, because Fugaku Uchiha had almost managed to kill me. I was removed for my own protection, and a week later, when Danzo realized I couldn't be a personal weapon anymore, something he was rather adamant about, due to the fact I was no longer in the village and it was unknown where I was, he killed off the Uchiha as payback for ruining his plans, stated Naruto. This time, most everyone believed what he had said. After all, Danzo was linked to many kidnappings and other inhumane acts. So you see, Sasuke, I am better than you. I'm the heir to 3 clans. I hold somewhere between 25 to 50% of the land and wealth of Konoha, as well as being the son of not only Kushina Uzumaki, an S-class ninja, but also Minato Namikaze, the only man ever besides the Sandaime Raikage and Hashirama Senju to gain an SS class rank. I'm better than you in every way, and I'll never give you any of my jutsu, stated Naruto, defiance clear in his voice. Sasuke seethed once again, but was smarter than to try anything. After all, if even half the stuff he said was true, then he was much more important than him as an individual, not the whole clan, but more important than him. After all, Naruto was the son of 2 cage-level ninja, and he was for sure stronger than him. For now, Sasuke got up without a word and left the room. I'll go to every jonin in the village and ask for training, and I'll read every high-ranked scroll in the Uchiha library. I'll become stronger than you, Naruto, and then I'll kill you and everyone else that has ever held me back. Then I'll kill Danzo and rebuild the Uchiha clan and make it better than everyone else by taking over all 3 of your clans. As the doors closed, Naruto spoke up again. Now that the spoiled little brat is gone, there's something I want to give all the clan heads. -2 months later, Team 7 had been taking 1D rank a day for almost 2 months now. At first Sasuke had hated them, until Naruto stated that the Uchiha should quit complaining, use them for training, whether lifting heavy objects to build strength, painting as fast yet cleanly to work on speed and control, picking weeds as fast as you see them to work on reflexes, or even catching the damn cat to work on cardio and speed, which is what they had just got done doing, catching the cat for the 17th time in their young ninja careers. Sasuke hated to admit it, but the blonde was right. As soon as he had started using every mission as some form of training, he had started growing stronger, faster, quicker and more controlled at an impressive rate. And as a hidden benefit, the teamwork of Team 7 had skyrocketed, going from almost non-existent to spotless over the last 2 months. Team 7, returning Tora, stated Kakashi lazily. He had been thinking that he would get AC rank next. Even Sakura was starting to get fed up with D ranks, and their teamwork was easily high enough. Wow, new record again. Team 7 now owns the top 10 spots on the Tora board. Even Kakashi's team hadn't had all the top 10 at once. You should be very proud of yourself, stated Sarutobi, though he knew as well as anyone that the team was a one-man show, and if it were anyone but Team 7 or the Hokage, they would say that Sasuke was the cause of the records, though everyone important knew it was Naruto. Old man, How old is that cat? Pervy Sage told me it was his first mission, and that was almost 40 years ago, stated Naruto. There have actually been several Toras, they all seem to have the same tendency to escape the Fire Daimo's wife, stated Sarutobi with a chuckle. Hokage-sama, I would like to request AC rank for my team, I feel that they're more than ready, stated Kakashi lazily. Iruka's eyes widened, but he knew better. After all, Sasuke was the Rookie of the Year, and he knew from personal experience that Naruto could handle a Jonin. After all, he did kill Aoi. Alright, you will be guarding a bridge builder, and the bridge he is building should take about 2 weeks to a month. Come on in, Tarzuna. A rather fat, drunken man had come in from the waiting room. The smell of sake and oak filled the room. These are the brats that are supposed to be guarding me? I'm the super bridge builder, Tarzuna. You three look like you couldn't even beat a paper bag. Especially the blonde, stated Tarzuna, as he took a swig of his sake, only to realize it was no longer in his hand. He looked up to see Naruto holding the jug. You're drunk. It's a violation of your contract. We need to wait until you are sober to start this mission, otherwise you will be a hindrance to the mission. We will leave tomorrow morning at the earliest. What do you think, Kakashi? Questioned Naruto, surprising everyone in the room with his authoritative tone. We'll leave from the East Gate at 7:30 tomorrow morning. Until then, you're free to do whatever, but be in condition to start the mission tomorrow, stated Kakashi as he gave the blonde a look that told him to stay and chat. After everyone other than Naruto, Iruka, Sarutobi and Kakashi left, Naruto spoke up. What do you need, Kakashi? Do you think that you're capable of leading this team? Questioned Kakashi intently. Yes, I have the strength and I can keep a calm head during stressful times, stated Naruto. Good. Then you are now my team captain. Should I ever be inactive, you will be the leader of this squad and you will have input on every major issue. See you at the gate tomorrow, stated Kakashi with a nice smile, right before proofing away. Well then, I guess I'll see ya later, old man. Iruka. Next day, road to Wave. So Tarzuna-san, how come you hired Leaf Shinobi? Doesn't Wave have ninja? Asked Sakura, trying to break the silence that had permeated the mission so far. To everyone's surprise, it was Naruto who answered. Wave no longer has ninja. Up until the beginning of the Second Great Shinobi War, Wave had a form of agreement with a nearby island nation that was said to be just as strong, if not stronger, than any of the elemental nations. They were wiped out by a joint attack by Kiri, Kumo, Grass, Rice and Iwa. It was a battle that lasted almost 7 days, and cost the 5 countries that attacked a huge portion of their ninja, so many that Kiri, Grass and Rice vowed out of the war. Hell, the losses in Rice were so bad that they no longer even have a ninja program. Through the village was wiped out, and almost every one of its people killed, the rest scattered across the world. I know 3 or 4 ended up in Konoha, at least 1 in Kumo, and the rest went to Kiri or AIM. Ever since then, Wave has relied in Konoha or Kiri. Spot on. How do you know all that? Almost all of the world has forgotten Azushio? Asked Tarzuna, eyeing the genin. If the young blonde knew that much, he might know of the trouble in Wave. My mother was one of the survivors of the attack, and while she was young, she wrote it all down in a scroll. I found the scroll one day, read it, and now I know what happened to my clan and my former village, stated Naruto in a sad voice. He cringed when Sakura started to speak. You're lying. If that happened, we would have learned about it in the academy, plus you don't even have a last name. How could you be from a clan? Questioned Sakura, earning a groan from Naruto, Kakashi and strangely enough, Sasuke. Tarzuna started fearing for his life. If she was that ignorant, she could easily lead to his death. The reason it isn't in Konoha history books is because 15 years ago, the civilian council had it removed after an incident involving a member of the civilian side trying to get the 4th Hokage to marry her. When he refused, and instead started dating a former member of the village, the civilian called in all her favors to have the clan and their village erased from Konoha history, stated Kakashi. How do you know that place even existed in the first place? Questioned Sakura. She was never wrong in the academy, and every time she was proven wrong now she refused to believe it. Simple. The 4th was my sensei and like a father to me after mine passed. While he dated her, she was like a mother to me, and she showed me everything about the old country. I even went there with Sensei and her before the 3rd Great War broke out, stated Kakashi. Rigged. I'll just ask my mom when I get home, she's on the council, she would know if that really happened, stated Sakura smugly. I'm sure she would know, seeing as it was her that caused my clan's name and village to be forgotten, stated Naruto with hatred clear in his voice, getting as shocked Then angry look from Sakura. Why would my mom do that? Huh? You're all just lying because you can handle the fact that you're wrong, stated Sakura. Naruto was about to go ballistic on the pink-haired bitch, only to notice the puddle they just passed start to ripple, before two masked men, clothed in black robes with a metal gauntlet on opposing hands appeared and charged at Kakashi. Naruto shoved Sakura out of the way, before charging up a normal Rasengan in his hand and flashing away, right as Kakashi was torn into pieces by the masked men. One down, the one on the right said, his voice somewhat distorted by the mask he was wearing. 3 to go. Rasengan, shouted Naruto as he flashed behind the second masked man and shoved the swirling ball of death into the back of the man's skull, effectively exploding the man's head in an instant, covering the surrounding area with blood and bits of brain. Brother, you'll pay for that. Screw the old man, I'm going to kill you, shouted the still living masked man, only for Naruto to once again flash out of sight and reappear behind the black cloak ninja. One hand shot out and grabbed the man by the neck, the other hand resting atop his head. Naruto whispered something and pulled what looked like a thin, smoky white, translucent body out of the man. It was the most sickening sight any of the people present had ever seen. After a moment, Naruto's eyes hardened. You both deserve to die. You're horrible human beings, stated Naruto, who then looked to the bridge builder. You can come out now, Kakashi. There's something you have to know about this mission. It's no longer AC rank, stated Naruto. Almost instantly, Kakashi was next to Naruto, picking chunks of skull and brain out of his vest and hair. Impressive, Naruto, though you really didn't need to do that, says the man who stabs his hand through people's hearts, stated Naruto, who then turned his head back to Tarzuna. You lied, old man. You have ninja after your life. This is B rank, maybe even A rank. This team is not ready for that. Anything to say for yourself, Tarzuna? Asked Kakashi. Wave has been ruled by a tyrant for years now. I've lost my son-in-law, most of my land, and my village is only a few months from being so in debt to that short prick that we lose all our homes. The only hope for the village is to finish the bridge and break Gato's hold on us, stated Tarzuna as he turned to head to Wave. I'll be on my way. Alright then, let's go, stated Naruto as he started to move away. Sakura and Sasuke moving towards Kanaya, Naruto and Kakashi falling in step with the portly bridge builder. You're helping me? Why? Asked the shocked Tarzuna. Other than Kanaya, Wave was the only nation to be anything other than hostile towards Azusho. I won't let an ally fall to tyrant over something as simple as money. If need be, I'll pay for this mission and the bridge costs myself, stated Naruto as he pulled out a storage scroll. The scroll holds what's left of the bounty on the Diamond of Iwa, Ha'arakudo. There's about 4 million ryo left in it. This will be going to this mission in your bridge. You're the one that killed the Diamond of Iwa? Questioned a stunned Kakashi. He was Iwa's version of me, and only a little less strong. He was A rank easy. Yeah, Iwa found out about me, sent him and a couple of Chunin after me. I killed them, got the bounties, and used the money for my spending cash, stated Naruto. It was right around now that Sasuke and Sakura realized that they were walking in the opposite direction of their sensei and teammate. -8 hours later, the group was rather shocked that the old man could keep the pace they had set for almost 10 hours. They had thought it would take at least 2 days to get to Wave Country. Instead, they were now nearing shore after a short boat ride. With Kakashi walking in front of the boat and Naruto behind it, they were perfectly protected against any threat. Hey old man, the mist always is thick, whispered Naruto, being careful not to cause any more noise than was needed, something his two teammates didn't pick up on. Yeah, it's usually a little less than this, but it's been worse, answered Tarzuna. Land approaching Tarzuna, I'll get you to the shore, but I'm gone the second you get off the boat, stated a man slightly older than the bridge builder, though not as portly. Okay, when we hit land, we'll use the diamond formation, me in back, Naruto lead, Sasuke on left, Sakura on right. Naruto, you're captain if I go down, stated Kakashi. Why isn't Sasuke on captain? He's smarter and stronger than Naruto. Baka, stated Sakura, earning an explosive tag slapped over her mouth. Shut up. This is a covert assignment until we reach Tarzuna's home. Yell again and I'll use something a lot less subtle than an explosive tag. I'm captain because I am smarter, stronger, faster, a better leader, and most importantly, I'm not a stuck-up emo who has both an inferiority complex and a superiority complex. You will listen and obey everything that Kakashi or I say, and if either of you don't, You'll be written up for insubordination, stated Naruto quietly yet harshly. -15 minutes later, the group had been walking for about 10 minutes and were now about 30 minutes from Tazuna's home. Naruto saw a tiny movement in a bush on the left side, or as he called it, the open side, as Sakura had only proved his theory that the academy had failed his generation. Wine style, air blade, thought Naruto as he shot a thin, almost invisible blade into the bush, only for a portion of the bush to be lopped off and a frightened rabbit to freeze and stare at Naruto. It's summer, and that rabbit has white fur. Get down, yelled Kakashi as he tackled Tazuna and Sasuke, out of instinct of course, tackled Sakura. A giant blade made its way to the group at about neck heights. The group looked on in horror as Naruto stared at the blade as it came twirling towards him, only for his left hand to shoot up and grab the giant blade out of the air. All in one motion, Naruto plucked the blade from the air, spun around on his heels, and whipped the blade at the tree behind the group, almost hitting the man that had moved to the tree. Said man grabbed the handle and blurred back in front of the group. Impressive, brat. Maybe you can break the mold and survive this encounter. Unfortunately, your opponent is me, and I feel like killing some wannabe ninja right now, stated Zabuza, leaking a good amount of killing intent, freezing Sasuke and Sakura. Zabuza Momoki, a class missing nin from Kiri, wanted for an assassination attempt on the Yonde Mizukage, alias Demon of the Mist affiliation, former member of the Seven Swordsmen of the Mist, second behind Kisame Hoshigaki, all-around fighter with Jonin level nin, Gen, and Taijutsu, best with his sword, the head cleaver, listed off Naruto, gaining an odd expression from Sakura and Sasuke, and a look of wonder from Zabuza and Kakashi. Very impressive, brat. You have the reflexes and intelligence for me to consider you a ninja. But can you handle the pressure? Suddenly, it felt like hundreds of pounds of pressure was pressing down on them. Well, to Sasuke and Sakura it felt like that, to Kakashi, it felt like a slightly damp blanket was thrown over him, and to Naruto, well, Naruto was cleaning his fingernails with a kunai. This brat's not affected at all? How is that possible? Kakashi, you wanna take this one? I think I need a new coat of fingernail paint. I got some chips in this coat, stated Naruto with apparent boredom in his voice, though Kakashi noticed the discreet hand signs he was making. I want to hide me skill in case someone else is watching. I'll guard the old man and you handle Zabuza. I'll jump in if need be. Kakashi just smiled and nodded toward the blonde, before he turned back to Zabuza, and unleashed his killer intent, overpowering Zabuza's. Sasuke was panicking. This is the intensity of Jonin battle. It feels like if I make even the slightest move I'll be killed. I'd rather end it myself and get it over with, thought Sasuke as he bought the kunai he was holding up to his throat. I'm surprised, Uchiha, for someone so hell-bent on killing Danzo. You sure are having trouble handling a Jonin level battle, stated Naruto. Though blunt, it did the trick, and Sasuke's attention shifted from the fight to Naruto, saving his life. The brat is smart, shifting his teammate attention to something less dangerous to calm his nerves, effectively increasing his usefulness, thought Zabuza. You really are Sensei's son, Naruto, though you act more like your mother. Sweat dropped Kakashi. While I'd love to see the rest of this pathetic squad of so-called ninja Kirigakure Jutsu, yelled out Zabuza. In seconds, a thick mist flooded the area. Kakashi instantly lifted his headband, showing his Sharingan. Meanwhile, Naruto had pulled his sunglasses up over his headband, showing his blue Rinnegan, though no one noticed it. So Sharingan Kakashi finally shows his namesake. I feel honored that you feel I'm big enough a threat to show your trump card so early. Suddenly, Zabuza was between Sakura and Tazuna, swinging his massive blade towards the old man. His blade was suddenly stopped, a loud, metallic ring sounding through the area. Zabuza looked down to see something that scared the shit out of him. The only sword known to be superior than all the swords of the Seven Swords of the Mist, the Immortal Phoenix. A 6-foot-long blade with another foot for the handle, almost a foot and a half wide, and an almost divine shade of blood red mixed with silver to give it the appearance that it's lit aflame. There were ribbons on the bottom part of the blade, used for various techniques and also for blocking and locking enemy swords in place. Wiki Guardian Bow, Wiki Wicked Breaking Flamberge Bow. How do you have that sword? Shouted Zabuza, fear evident in his voice. Only the Uzumaki have ever held that sword. Legend says that you must gain 100 years of wisdom before you can even be considered to wield that sword. That is a secret, stated Naruto. Kakashi and Tazuna were shocked, They both knew of that sword, Kakashi because of his friendship with the sword couple Haruto and Yagao. If anyone even mentioned the words legendary and sword in the same sentence, the couple would go off on a tangent about the 3 immortal sword or the 7 swords of the mist or another handful of well-known blades. Tarzuna knew of the sword because that sword was the subject of one of his favorite bedtime stories growing up. Though Sasuke was impressed by the name and appearance of the sword, he did not know the legend, and therefore didn't understand what was so great about the 6-foot-long blade. Sakura, on the other hand, was getting pissed at these people kept saying things about this made-up Uzumaki clan. They don't exist. If they ever did, we would have learned about them in the academy. And what's so important about the sword? It's big, but so is Zabuza's. It doesn't matter. Even with the immortal phoenix, you're years away from matching my skill and experience, stated Zabuza as he jumped away from the Konoha group and readied himself for what was to come, though on the inside he wasn't faring much better. That Gaki just blocked my attack with one hand, while holding up the immortal phoenix. He's strong, and I barely caught him move, let alone unseal the sword and then move. This is bad. I can feel the power radiating off the blonde, and Kakashi is at my level, maybe above it. I'm going to need help for this job, but first I have to thin out their numbers. Kakashi, you take the eyebrowless wonder, I'll guard Tarzuna, and be careful, there is some watching us, but I can't tell if it's good or bad, stated Naruto. Kakashi nodded. He didn't like the fact he was just ordered by a genin, though he knew that Naruto was no ordinary genin, and after all, he was Minato's real son, and something of a brother to Kakashi. Zabuza and Kakashi moved at the same time, a taijutsu kenjutsu fight ensuing. Every slash was blocked by Kakashi and every hit was blocked by Zabuza. The back and forth ending when Kakashi got careless and was forced to retreat as Zabuza wound up for another big slice. Kakashi landed on the water, and immediately knew it was a mistake. Water style, water prison jutsu. Shit, I was careless. Naruto, take Tarzuna, Sasuke and Sakura and get away from here, shouted Kakashi, though Naruto apparently didn't hear him, as Naruto made 10 shadow clones to guard the group and started to slowly move towards Zabuza. Think you can take me on? I'm an A-rank ninja. I killed hundreds before I was 10. You're nothing to me, brat, even with that sword, shouted Zabuza, sounding about 100 times more confident than he felt. Naruto just continued to walk slowly towards Zabuza and Kakashi, not even breaking stride as he went from land to water. What's the matter, Gaki? Tired of living? Shouted Zabuza. Naruto just smirked, tilted his head slightly and kept pace. I'm not tired of living, but I can tell that you are, so I'm going to help you out in your endeavor. Then, as soon as the last word left his mouth, Naruto flashed away. Naruto appeared behind Zabuza in a flash and swung his sword at the man's back, only for Zabuza to block it, holding his own sword with his free hand. Of course, this is exactly what Naruto wanted, and he used his nearly unmatched flexibility to kick the masked man in the throat, forcing him to drop the water prison holding Kakashi, but not before Zabuza managed to deliver a slash to the right thigh of the copying nin. Shit, Kakashi cursed. He had once again been careless, and had gotten caught flat-footed, resulting in the gash in his leg. It was far from lethal, as Zabuza had missed any arteries, though it would be impossible for Kakashi to move at any high rate of speed for a long time. Kakashi, get by Tarzuna, you're in no shape to fight him. I'll handle this, stated Naruto as he stood facing Zabuza, sword in one hand, the other free. Still too overconfident, kid, there's no way you can beat the demon of the mist, especially in a sword fight, shouted Zabuza, his gravel-like voice sure of his victory. Dude, do you have an inside voice? What's with all the shouting? Questioned Naruto. And believe me, you're no demon, I've met more than enough of them to know that you're just a baby comparing itself to giants. Zabuza was stunned. This kid had balls. Wow, Gaki, with balls like that, you'll make a girl very happy one day. If you live that long. Zabuza charged forward, sword horizontal to the ground, ready to slash. Naruto charged forward as well, still holding the blade behind him. Zabuza faked a horizontal slash and sent a vertical chop at the blonde. Naruto countered by whipping his own blade around to Zabuza's chest with a huge arching swing while sidestepping the chop, forcing Zabuza to twist his body around and use the flat of his blade to block the blonde's slash. The two swordsmen locked into a test of strength, only for the ripped blonde to win the battle by using both hands, thus using his own huge muscle mass to overpower the slightly less ripped Zabuza. What the hell is this kid? I've never met or even heard of a kid, not even 16, Who has more pure strength than me? Only Kisame could ever hold his own against me, and this kid is doing it with no problem at all. Panicked Zabuza as he broke away from Naruto and studied his opponent. Has strong, though not as strong as when we fought that fish freak. He's quick too, and his reflexes are just as good as Kakashi's. I don't want to use Kiwabi's chakra because I'm becoming reliant on it, just like the Rinnegan. I can't use that yet, and I'm still not good enough with my sword to beat him with straight ninjutsu. Let's try ninjutsu. Naruto jumped back to make some distance and stared at his opponent. You like that sword a lot, but I bet that you rely on it, and I'm willing to bet my sword that you can't beat me in a ninjutsu battle, stated Naruto, trying to goad the man into taking the bait. Well, I'll just have to take that offer, retorted Zabuza as he flashed through Hand Seal's water style water collision wave. Naruto watched as a huge wave crashed towards him. He was truly impressed by the mastery of the jutsu needed for a wave this big and the pure chakra capacity needed. Hiraishin thought Naruto as he flashed in front of Zabuza lightning style body shock impulse. Zabuza barely had time to bring his sword in front of him to try and block his attack, only to be painfully shocked as the electric field released from the blonde's torso crossed through the blade and into his arm and chest. Any lightning that got past the blade made contact with his other arm, his right leg and his right abdomen. Zabuza was flung back from the force of the jutsu and was slammed into a tree, both arms and his whole right side twitching extremely painfully from the lightning chakra forced into him. What are you? Questioned Zabuza quietly as he watched the blonde striding towards him, his body spasming painfully. This kid is the real demon. Hurry it up, Haku. Your death, stated Naruto as he moved towards Zabuza, line chakra swirling in his hand. Just as Naruto was about to stab his hand into Zabuza's chest, two senbon embedded into the masked man's neck. Thank you for weakening him for me. I have been following this man for years now and I couldn't stand seeing someone else killing him, stated a rather short hunter Nin. Naruto noticed that the long hair was almost reflective with its level of shine. Odd for a Kirin to use senbon. Would you like me to remove his head? Questioned Naruto. No, I will handle that, stated the hunter Nin, starting to sweat. Nonsense. I can tell you're young as well as I am. If I had to guess, 13? No, 14? Plus you don't have a blade that can make that kind of cut. I'd be happy to behead him for you. As he lifted his blade to Zabuza's throat. In a flash of movement, the hunter Nin was next to Zabuza. Then they both disappeared. Kakashi, we have a problem. Naruto turned around to see Kakashi lying on the ground, out cold. Alright, after I heal Kakashi, we're going to Tarzuna's house. Next day. Wake up, Kakashi, report findings, go train. It will work, thought Naruto out loud, forcing everyone at the table to look at him funny. Sorry, force of habit, it was part of my mental training to report everything I thought. I still do it sometimes. Okay, what did you mean when you said all that? Asked Sakura, who really couldn't care less, but her academic side, if you can call it that, needed to know everything. Well, after I disinfected Kakashi's leg and healed it, I gave him some painkillers, which should wear off soon. I'll wait and tell you both when I confirm it. And if he's out of commission, I'll be training you, stated Naruto. Sakura scoffed mentally at the prospect of being trained by the Dobe. Sasuke instantly perked up. The Dobe, no matter how much he hated to even think it, was better than him in every way. Any training from him would boost his power, and if the way he handled Zabuza was any indication, the blonde could be his ticket to power. Sakura on the other hand. Why should we listen to your training? Sasuke-kun is much better than you because I'm team captain and the leader while the scarecrow is out upstairs. Oh man, I must be getting rusty. I should have never quit ANBU. Yay. You're rusty alright. Kakashi spun around to see Naruto looking out the window. They're still eating before they get here. Did you notice that the hunter Nin wasn't as they appeared? Yes, the hunter Nin is obviously working with Zabuza, stated Kakashi. The Sharingan can see chakra, correct? Questioned Naruto. Only when the opponent uses a jutsu. Why? Responded Kakashi. What element would spawn from blue and white chakra? Questioned Naruto. Were the colors mixing? Kakashi asked seriously. Yeah, ice manipulation. Kakashi said bluntly. He knew what it took to form most sub-elements because of his old friend Tenzo. Shit, at least it will be one of us up against the ice user. Hopefully Gato can't find anyone as strong as Zabuza, stated Naruto. Naruto, why didn't you use Kiwabi chakra or your eyes at all during the fight? Well, if you really want to know, ninja that use only one or two aspects of their arsenal have nothing to fall back on. The Kiwabi chakra I use is not my own. Not yet anyway, and the Rinnegan is only in my possession because of a fluke. In short, I'd rather use my own skills than ones that were given to me. I don't feel I've earned either power yet, so I refrained from using them until all my other skills are to my satisfaction," stated Naruto with conviction. Kakashi was surprised by the young boy's words, but even more surprised when he remembered hearing Minato something similar about the Hiraishin, and when he started to learn Sage Mode. It's too bad that his sensei never finished his training. Living room. "What do you mean Zabuza is alive?" screamed Sakura. Thankfully it wasn't a shriek. That Hunter Nin was a fake. No Kiri Hunter Nin would move a body after the target's confirmed dead, and it's easy to fake a kill with Senbon. There's a cluster of nerves in the neck that can cause it, stated Naruto. Plus she was too young for the minimum to be a Hunter Nin for Kiri. If I had to guess from the voice and overall appearance, plus chakra capacity, she was about 13 years old and high Chunin level. "Kakashi-sensei, is this true?" asked Sakura, hoping beyond hope that the blonde was lying. "Yes, Zabuza is alive and the Hunter Nin is his partner to some degree. This causes problems as the Hunter Nin is an unknown, but me and Naruto have deduced that Zabuza's partner is at least Chunin in level and most likely specializes in throwing weapons and ninjutsu," stated Kakashi. "No way. How can anyone our age be that strong? Even Sasuke isn't that strong," stated Sakura. "Sakura, it's important you learn this now. In this world, there are people younger than you and stronger than me. Naruto is a prime example," stated Kakashi, getting an incredulous look from Sakura and a raised eyebrow from Sasuke. "Yay, right. Just because he beat some missing ninja doesn't make him strong," stated Sakura as if that made any sense. "Oh, and what makes Sasuke so great? He didn't do shit versus Zabuza," stated Naruto. "Hess and Uchiha. He's an elite ninja and when he unlocks the Sharingan, he will be the strongest," stated Sakura. Both Naruto and Kakashi shared looks of concern. "So Sasuke is strong, just because of his Uchiha blood? Not because he put in uncountable hours, even days of work? He's strong because of a name, and not the fact that he trained his ass off?" questioned Naruto. Sasuke mentally was smiling because of the hidden compliment. "Sasuke is strong because he's Sasuke," stated the now angry Kunoichi. "Sasuke is as strong as he is because he's worked for it. He's the strongest of your class by a mile because he worked his ass off, and you're insulting him by stating that he didn't." "Same with Kakashi. He's the son of the White Fang, but you probably didn't know that, seeing as the academy is useless." "Do you think that Kakashi graduated from the academy at the lowest age ever, became a Jonin by age 13, ANBU commander at 14, and is considered one of the top candidates to be the next Hokage, simply because his father was strong?" questioned Naruto with a voice devoid of any emotion. "Kakashi-sensei had a strong father and he's strong too," stated Sakura as if that statement explained everything. "And what about Hiruzen Sarutobi? He made his own clan." "What of Minato Namikaze, the fourth Hokage and arguably the most dangerous man in the world? He was an orphan." "Same with Jiraiya and Orochimaru of the Sannin. They were both orphans, and they are arguably the strongest men in the world," stated Naruto, but he still had to drive the point home. "What about the third Raikage? No one knew who his parents were." "Why don't we go by village?" "Suna, the third Kazekage was born in a family of merchants." "Aiwa, the second Tsuchikage was found on the streets as a boy and was raised by the Shodame." "Kiri, their most powerful, is still in office. He's 30 years old and he is son of 2 Chunins." Sakura didn't know how to answer that. She knew that the fourth Hokage was an orphan, and that the last 2 Kazekage were both from non-shinobi families, thanks to reading some extra books at the library. But to hear that 6 of the most powerful men in history came from non-shinobi background nearly crushed what she was taught to believe. "What do we do now?" questioned Sasuke, a rare smile on his face. After all the hard work he had done, it was nice to have someone see his hard work, though it angered him that Naruto had discounted the Uchiha name. "This team can handle Zabuza and his partner, so what do we do now?" To say that Kakashi and Naruto were shocked was an understatement. Sasuke had just said this team can handle. Does that mean that he was finally breaking his shell? They both knew it was probably to inflate his own ego that HIS team was strong, but it was a start. "Easy. We train," stated Kakashi, flipping another page in his book. "Zabuza is an up-close fighter. His partner is most likely a mid-range fighter. We'll be training your chakra control and capacity. After the wheel, I'll go over some jutsu and maybe speed training," stated Naruto. "What jutsu?" "With Zabuza. Some demon." "You got beat by a bunch of kids," shouted Gato. "First off, I lost to a ninja who is just as strong and even more infamous than I. And that was no kid," stated Zabuza, who then fell silent. There's a group my former teammate is part of. Contact them and you'll have this bridge builder dead in no time. Though it might cost ya like hell, I'm hiring more ninja. I paid you to kill the bridge builder and you're going to do it, shouted Gato. Listen you little bucket of fuck. They have two at least high A class ninja. You need an S class for something like that. I'm not an S class ninja. If you want the bridge builder dead, you need more ninja. And they're the only ones that would take the job, stated Zabuza. Fine. But it's coming out of your pay. Now who is this group you speak of? Training ground. Alright, time for the first exercise. Tree walking, stated Kakashi, still on crutches from the cut he got from Zabuza. Naruto may be able to use medical chakra, but he was no Tsunade. How will climbing trees help us get stronger? Questioned Sasuke. A few ways actually. Here, watch me, stated Naruto as he moved to a tree and began to walk up the trunk. As he came to a branch and walked out onto it, he then cut the flow of chakra to his feet, twisted his body and landed gracefully at the foot of the tree. You channel chakra to the bottom of your feet and walk up the tree. This practices chakra control, increases your reserves and helps builds muscle because you're constantly fighting gravity. When you can walk up and down the tree, fight on the tree for 15 minutes straight. We'll move on to the next step. And how does this help me become stronger? I could just do push-ups, sit-ups and squats. Who cares about chakra control? Questioned Sasuke. Uchiha, what could happen if you put too much chakra into a fire jutsu? Asked Naruto calmly. It would explode in my face, stated Sasuke. And what about too little chakra? It wouldn't ignite, stated Sasuke, his voice showing his temper rising. So having good control would help with a high-level fire jutsu. Right now climb the damn tree. -2 days later. I'm impressed Haruno. Your reserves are now low to mid-genin. Very nice. I think it's time you started water walking, stated Naruto. Kakashi was at the bridge, seeing as he could still destroy bandits if need be. What about me? I'm an Uchiha, shouted Sasuke from about halfway up the tree. But he lost his focus and fell from the tree. That's why, dumbass. Finish the tree walking exercise and I'll teach you water walking. Earth style, Great Crater Jutsu. Water style, Liquefaction Jutsu, stated Naruto as he made a 20-foot diameter hole in the ground. Water then forced its way up into the hole, filling it with murky water. Okay Sakura, now apply a layer of chakra to your feet and use it to push against the water. It's going to be a constantly changing amount, so tread carefully. Unknown location. I see why you liked him, Ra. But do you think that he is truly next in line? His father, while promising, didn't make the cut. What do you think makes him different? Stated a tall, extremely muscular man with jet black hair, tan skin and pure black eyes with blue slotted pupils. He wore a deep blue toga and black wristbands. Well, so far the immortal Phoenix has accepted him, showing that he is indeed the descendant of the last champion. He has those gifted eyes. Plus, he truly cares about the world's well-being, stated Ra, a medium height, rather scrawny redhead with equally tan skin and eyes of pure scarlet. He wore a blood-red toga with light green wristbands. Oh, and just how do you know that? Stated the muscular man, his bulky arms crossed across his chest. He's found his own answer to the great question. And it's good enough for me. I'm sure it will be good enough for you, stated Ra. Oh, and why don't you fill me in? Oh great Phoenix Lord, laughed the built man. Coming from a dragon that's almost comical, especially you Iroh, retorted Ra. The bulky man's sweat dropped. Hey, at least I am not that damn Chimera Rock, retorted the tall muscular man, now identified as Iroh. Good point. Now would you like to hear his answer? Questioned Ra. I suppose it wouldn't hurt to hear it, though I doubt that it will change my mind, muttered Iroh. He's going to break the cycle by taking all the hatred on himself. He said that he would eliminate all that is evil, and when his job is done, he will willingly forfeit his own life to permanently break the cycle, stated Ra with a smile on his usually stoic face. Wow, did he speak with conviction when he spoke those words? Questioned Iroh. His right eyebrow raised. Such words have not been spoken since we entrusted him with our gifts. Even more than when he found that same answer. I'm going to give him one more test, and if he passes, I'm giving him my portion of the great power, stated Ra, his pure red eyes staining into the glass-like dome in front of them. From the way you speak, you sound as if you have already met the boy personally, spoke Iroh, his tone dangerous and his eyes narrowed. I have, though not as any form you know me as. I went to visit the blonde ball of energy about 2 Earth years ago. Even as a 10-year-old he spoke with great authority and wisdom, though not arrogantly. He may be rough around the edges, but he will make a great champion, stated Ra, his unnaturally smooth voice showing his absolute conviction in the boy's potential. Then a test it is, though you're going to have to convince that damned Chimera to give his test, stated Iroh. He always was a stubborn son of a bitch, but I don't think that even he can discount this young human's resolve, stated Ra. What test will you give him? Not the damned riddle again, I hope. No, that was always Rock's test. I'll let him use it if he wishes. My test will be similar to your first test, where you gave him your feather. I will test him with my fang, stated Iroh, a large grin on his face. A tall task indeed, stated Ra, his eyes widened slightly. Let's hope it goes better than the last human you gave the test to. Next day, So Sakura can water walk already? After only one day? Questioned Kakashi. They were sitting at the kitchen table, waiting for the other members to wake up. Yep. But the Uchiha is only about 3/4 the way up the tree. His emotions are getting in the way. He's going to need to be broken of that soon, or it's going to get him killed, stated Naruto. I was sure that he would break out of this by now, stated Kakashi, mostly to himself. Well, if you don't mind, I'll guard the bridge today. Maybe some time away from me will calm him down a bit. I'm not teaching the Uchiha or his fangirls any of my personal chakra control exercises, and I'm definitely not teaching them any of my jutsu, stated Naruto. Can't blame you there. Go ahead and take the bridge duty. We still have about a week until Zabuza's back to normal, but I wouldn't be surprised if he had help, stated Kakashi. I'll be sure to keep a lookout. 3 days later, clearing in woods. To think I'm the son of the Yan game still floors me, and I'm still going to take your power one day, Fox, stated Naruto. Get used to it, brat. The man is your father and now he's one of your paths. Though I must admit, I still don't believe you could take full control of me. The Sage of Six Paths had a power beyond your imagining. Even with your 8-tailed state, he would destroy you in a second, claimed the fox, though it wasn't as menacing as it usually was, seeing as the fox was currently the size of a large horse. Just how strong was he, Fox? I mean, from what you've told me, he took on a being that was all the tailed beast combined, asked Naruto. He wasn't simple strong, brat. He was powerful. Even that pervert's butchered toad sage mode wouldn't last a second against him. And I believe that the pervert is the strongest human on the planet right now, stated the fox. Really? Questioned Naruto with an eyebrow cocked. He's a sage. The sage is bound to be the most powerful. The only thing that can stand in the way of a sage is a sage. But like I said, the toad sage is nothing compared to a full sage, stated the fox. Someone is approaching. I believe it's that hunter nin that was with Zabuza. Naruto nodded and left his menscape, finding the fox was once again right. The now maskless hunter nin was walking below Naruto, who had been sitting in a tree. Naruto slowly leaked out his chakra and flashed behind the fake hunter nin. You know, started Naruto. The hunter nin spun around and if not for her shinobi training, would have shrieked in surprise. I wouldn't suspect that one from the Yuki clan would ever be a hunter nin, mostly because of the whole bloodline hater thing. Though maybe that's why you left with Zabuza. How do you know all of this? Have you been spying on us? Questioned Haku, fear present in her eyes. No. If I knew where you were staying, Zabuza would be dead right now. And no, I'm not going to kill you, stated Naruto. Why not? We are enemies. It is kill or be killed, and even if you don't kill me, what makes you so sure I won't kill you? Asked the fake hunter nin. Your left hand twitched towards where you presumably hold your senbon. Difficult tool to use. Those needles are even harder to kill with, even more so when you've never killed before, stated Naruto calmly, while the hunter nin was getting even more scared. What do you talk about? I have killed before. I'm a hunter nin. No, you're not. Your eyes show you haven't killed before. You're still pure and innocent. Tell Zabuza that he shouldn't be working with Gato. The man is dirtier than almost anyone else, and I doubt that he's actually going to pay you. Farewell, Hunter. I'll most likely see you when we fight next week. That night, Gato's warehouse. You're the super powerful ninja I sent for? You sure don't look like much, stated Gato. You would be surprised. One does not get labeled S rank for nothing. Now, if you would please tell us our targets, we can get started on our price. That punk Zabuza said that the ninja you will be fighting are Kakashi Hatake, a young blonde-haired boy, that apparently is stronger than Zabuza is, 2 genin, and your final targets are Zabuza and his partner, stated Gato. Hatake and Momoki. Those are some big bounties and another Sharingan to add to my collection. This day started out as any other had during their stay in Wave. The group had woken up at the usual time. At breakfast they ate in silence, until a certain overall-wearing boy decided to ruin the quiet atmosphere. "Why do you all train so hard? You're just going to die," cried out Inari, slamming his hands on the table. "You're right, kid. All of us are going to die. It might be today, might be tomorrow, very few of us retire. But the fact of the matter is that as ninja we knew this reality the second we put this headband on," stated Naruto as he calmly looked at the young boy. His calmness startled many of the people at the table, but none more than Kakashi, who was now observing the blonde even closer. "No, you idiot. Gato is going to kill all of you. There are no such thing as heroes," stated the boy, his anger rising to the surface. "There are heroes in Ari. Take the Yondaime Hokage for example. He almost single-handedly ended a war to the village hidden in the leaves. He's a hero, but to Aiwa, he's the greatest monster. I suppose you could say there really are no heroes, as one man's hero is another's most hated, but I'm not giving up on my dream, and I can assure you, I won't die by Gato's hand," stated Naruto calmly, shocking many at the table once again that the usually happy and somewhat loud boy was still so level-headed. "You don't know what it's like to live a hard childhood. You ninja are all babied," shouted Inari. Kakashi's eyes both widened in fear, not just the thought of Naruto, but also Sasuke ripping into the boy. "Again, you are wrong. You still have a mother and grandfather, who love you and take care of you. You see Sasuke over there? His whole family was killed in one day by a man who had been considered a family friend. You see Kakashi? His mother died when he was just a newborn, and his father killed himself because of a choice he made to save the lives of his comrades, which ended up costing more lives as a result. I, on the other hand, didn't know who my parents were until I was 8. I got kicked out of the orphanage when I was 3 and beaten almost daily until I was 8 years old when Sasuke's clan tried to kill me. I had to leave the village, move around the elemental nations, live by killing my own food, and I made most of my clothes. From the time I was 3 till about 3 months ago, I didn't have a roof over my head. I've never known a mother's love, never knew what my next meal was going to be, or where it would come from. I fought for everything I have. You may think your life is hard, but I bet that every orphan in that village about half a mile away from here would give everything they have to live your life for a week. There is always someone with a harder life than you, and by God have mercy on the ones who had it harder than me," stated Naruto, his carefree expression never leaving his face. Though his words took to the ominous side, his face held a small smile, but it was clear to everyone but Sakura that everything the blonde had said was true. You really lived like that?" questioned Inari, too shocked to let tears fall from his eyes. "Of course he didn't. Only Sasuke's life is that boss Mac." Sakura was cut off when she was sent across the room. Everyone was shocked when they saw the pink head fly across the room, and even more shocked when it was the last person anyone would expect to have hit the pink-haired girl standing over her. Tsunami stood above the young Kunoichi, her hand still stinging from the huge backhand that had launched her from her chair and into the wall. "What kind of monster are you? What could possibly be wrong with you that you could even think like that? Any half-retarded dog could understand that every word your teammate just spoke was the truth. All you ever do is insult and belittle him. You don't even know that the only reason that I'm even alive right now, and that you're alive for that matter, is because Naruto saved our lives. 3 years ago, before Gato even came to Wave, I was almost raped. If it wasn't for Naruto, Inari could have another brother or sister. I heard from both your sensei and my father that if it wasn't for Naruto, you wouldn't have lasted against the guy you fought. From now on, you will not speak in my house, and the next time I hear you bad-mouthing Naruto, I'll make sure you can't talk for the next year." After the intense tirade from the angered mother, Tsunami left the house and went to sit on the porch, praying to God that no one came to try to talk to her. Back inside, Tarzuna was speechlessly staring at not the door, but the young blonde who had continued eating. "So it was you who helped her back then?" Tarzuna leaned back and looked at the table. "I owe you a great deal more than you realize. Please follow me. I request the rest of you stay here." Tarzuna and Naruto stood and walked up the stairs, Inari had a small smile on his face as he re-evaluated every good aspect of his life. Sakura had passed out from the pain and possible brain damage from the monstrous backhand, as well as the killing intent from Kakashi and Tsunami. Sasuke continued to brood as he went over the words his blonde teammate had spoken, trying to find out how the blonde had got so powerful. In Tarzuna's room. So you were the one who helped out Tsunami so long ago. I'm in your debt, Naruto, stated Tarzuna as he walked to the window next to his bed. Why do I get the feeling there's more to this? Questioned Naruto as he leaned up against the wall. The Tsunami you just saw smack the pink-haired girl. I hadn't seen that Tsunami since you saved her. After that, she withdrew into herself. She puts up a strong front of being a kind and caring person, but that's not really her. She used to be a total tomboy, always getting in fights to defend her friends. You saw how strong she is, right? She sent that girl flying through the air like she was a balled up piece of paper. That's the Tsunami I raised, and that's the mother I believe Inari needs, stated Tarzuna as he looked out his window at his daughter sitting on the swing next to Kakashi, her face showing a pissed-off facade. I guess what I'm saying is, you have the power to change people for the better. This country needs a hero, kid. I believe that you're that hero. Tarzuna, I'll do my best to help out, but I don't see how I can be the hero. I've been here a week and I haven't done anything but help build the bridge with my shadow clones, stated Naruto. Hope, kid. You give people hope, and if there's one thing that can beat Gato, it's a village full of hope. With Tsunami and Kakashi, I know you're not in the best mood right now, but can I ask how you know Naruto? There's only a handful of people that would defend him like that, asked Kakashi as he sat next to Tsunami. The young mother sighed and told her story. I was getting back from visiting a friend in the village when a large man grabbed me and took me into the forest. I'd rather not relive that, so I'll just say that Naruto and a man that looked a lot like your other student saved me. I'm not sure what he did, but the man who tried to attack me gave a look of immense pain and then he was dead. After that, he gave me his coat to wear home. They helped me back onto the path to my house and followed from behind until I got to my home. When I turned to see if they were still there, they were already gone. If you recognized Naruto, then why didn't you say anything when we first got here? Asked Kakashi. As I said before, I tried to forget that day, but when that pink-haired bitch started to berate Naruto, I just kinda lost it. Next day, Team 7 arrived at the bridge, only for the sight of 4 people standing amongst a battlefield's worth of injured or dead workers to enter their vision. Kakashi, stated Naruto calmly. Are you back at 100%? No, about 90%, stated Kakashi quietly, making sure to keep that bit of info from the enemy. Shit. Kakashi, take Zabuza, try to beat him fast. I'm going to need help with this. Sasuke, you're going to have to fight the Hunter Nin, stated Naruto. And who are you going to take? Questioned Sasuke. The Uchiha codes said that as an Uchiha, he has to defeat the strongest opponent, as he was the strongest of the group. The 2 S-class criminals, stated Naruto as he flashed away, leaving Kakashi shocked and Sasuke brooding about being denied his rights as an Uchiha. Naruto's fight. Naruto flashed in front of the smaller man and threw a huge left hook, which was stealthily avoided. Fuck me. How much did it cost to hire you two? A lot, but the bonus of having the bounty of Kakashi Hatake and Zabuza Momoki helped to lower the price a bit, stated the tall man. He had green eyes, his face and hair were covered with wrappings. Plus I'm sure it won't hurt to bring back a tailed beast container, stated the shorter of the two. He had short dark spiky hair, a scar on his chin in the shape of an X and a black patch over his right eye. Kakazu and Danzo, both of you are considered to be immortal. I'll have to go all out from the start, stated Naruto as he removed his glasses, showing his blue, ringed eyes. Both Danzo and Kakazu were shocked to see the same Dojutsu that their leader had, even if it was a different color. Naruto shot forward, a wind Rasengan in his right hand. He started heading towards Kakazu, weaving wildly through the tendrils that were coming out of the masked man's hands. Kakazu released his fire and earth hearts to try to counter the ringing ball of death. Too slow, shouted Naruto as he disappeared and reappeared behind the bulky man for a split second before he disappeared again and drove the wind Rasengan into Danzo's back, as the Shimura had been waiting to see the damage this new technique could do, only to feel it firsthand. Naruto didn't wait to confirm his death as he disappeared again and drove a lightning Rasengan through Kakazu's earth mask. Naruto jumped back, taking a quick glance at the other fights. Kakashi vs Zabuza. That blonde brat of yours is ridiculous. Going up against two S-class ninja, stated Zabuza in his usual gravelly voice. Your fight is with me, stated Kakashi as he charged Zabuza with a kunai in hand. Zabuza slashed at Kakashi's leg, targeting the previously weakened area. Kakashi parried the slash and spun around to swipe at the former missed Nin. You're still injured, Kakashi. You won't survive this encounter. Sasuke vs Haku. You are very skilled. The fact that you have yet to be injured by my needle speaks volumes of your skill. But that ends now. Ice style. Demonic ice mirrors. Sasuke stood strong in the middle of the fountains of quickly freezing water that had been deposited around him by several water jutsu. His newly rebuilt smugness retained from mastering the water walking and agility exercises in just under 3 days had jumped to a whole new level after he stood his ground against the fake hunter Nin. No one has made it out of this jutsu. Not even Zabuza-sama can beat me in here. Take this moment to find some form of peace. Naruto vs Kakazu and Danzo. Naruto dodged a powerful fist from the human ragdoll Kakazu when he was caught in the shoulder by passing kunai that was coated in wind chakra. Fuck, old man. You steal the eyes of the Uchiha, implant the cells of Hashirama, and you have wine nature, and on top of that you have an army of drones? Danzo smirked. I turned my army over to someone who will use them more effectively than I ever did, and I may not have been the one responsible for that massacre, but I am an S-rank ninja. You would do well to remember that, boy, and when I see something I want, I take it. Like these eyes, for example. Hey, too bad my eyes are worth more than all the eyes you stole. How does that feel, old man? Even your greatest victory is a footnote to the Dojutsu I was born with, stated Naruto, trying and successfully taunting the ex-Konoha elder. You insolent brat. I'll show you the power of the Sharingan, stated Danzo as he ripped the bandages from his face, revealing an eye he never thought he would see. The eye of another man that had helped him in the past. The eye of Shisui Uchiha. You son of a bitch. You stole his eye too. Suddenly, Naruto became cloaked in a red aura, then a black one, then a skeleton started to appear. You're both lucky. You're the first ones I face while in complete control of my six-tailed form. I don't know you all too well, Kakazu, but the fossil will have to die for his crimes. You best hope you do better than Orochimaru did. Naruto disappeared in a blur of black and planted a fist in Danzo's gut, folding him in half and crushing every bone that made up his torso and liquefying his internal organs. A sickening squelching, ripping, crushing sound tore through the air on and around the bridge. Zabuza and Kakashi stopped their fight in the middle of a power struggle to watch Danzo's body crumple around what they could only assume was Naruto's fist, then launch across the bridge and cross-body a rather large beam. Another crunching sound rang through the bridge as his heels touched the back of his head and his now dead body slipped down the metal beam, only for the body to shimmer out of existence and for another Danzo to appear from behind the metal beam. Kakazu, you going to help me with this brat, or are you going to just stand there? How are you alive? I crushed your spine and turned your insides into literal jelly. Is that what you meant by the power of the Uchiha? Is that why one of them just closed? Questioned Naruto as he pointed to the eye above Danzo's hand, which was now closed. Danzo squinted his eyes in anger. This brat just figured out one of his powers and most likely the way to beat his trump card. Kakazu, on the other hand, who still had the broken and shredded earth heart hanging out of his chest, was thinking of retreat. The blonde had shown that he could avoid his combination attacks and even managed to get behind him and take out one of his hearts. Thought leader Sama would be very upset if he left a container, even if it wasn't the one he was assigned. Haku vs Sasuke. Seems my bloodline is better than yours, Uchiha. Even if you can telegraph my attacks, your body isn't fast enough to avoid them, stated Haku, her real body in the topmost mirror. Don't insult the Uchiha, you peasant. No blood is stronger than the Uchiha, stated Sasuke as we wobbled into a fighting stance. You're pitiful. I wish I was allowed to kill you, but master says to leave you alive, stated Haku as she threw another volley of senbon, sending a few of them into Sasuke, one piercing a cluster of nerves in his left shoulder, right at the base of the neck. You're done. If I wish to kill you, you would be helpless to stop me. Learn humility, Uchiha, as the next opponent you face will definitely not have a problem ending your pitiful existence. Naruto's fight. Danzo, stated Kakazu as he dodged another blast of pure wine chakra. I believe we should report our finding to leader Sama. No, I still have one move I'd like to use. Summoning Baku, shouted Danzo. In a plume of smoke, A giant elephant chimera look up Danzo's summon took up his portion of the bridge. Once again all fighting stopped as the Baku landed on the bridge with a resounding crack as the bridge structure was stressed to the limit. What the hell is that thing? Questioned Haku as she let the mirrors down, as Sasuke lay on the ground, breathing, but unable to move as there was a needle in the base of the neck. The Baku, the creature capable of eating dreams, stated Kakashi, standing next Zabuza, who visibly shuddered from seeing the legendary creature. The giant Baku let out a deafening roar that shook the bridge as it charged towards Naruto, Danzo jumping on his summon's back as it continued its charge. Naruto jumped out of the path on the rampaging summon and onto the water left of the bridge, praying the beast couldn't move on water. He released a breath he didn't know he was holding when the Baku stopped at the edge of the bridge and let out a resounding roar. Danzo, keep him on the water, stated Kakazu as he released the wind, lightning and water masks from his back as they started launching all manner of combination jutsu possible for the three elements, aiming at Blonde or at the areas around him as Naruto used his outrageous speed to move from spot to spot as he dodged the attacks. Keep him on his toes, shouted Danzo as the Baku started to deeply inhale, sucking up everything within its path. The vacuum increased in power when Danzo used his strong wine affinity to speed up the moving air. Naruto started slipping across the water towards the Baku as Kakazu fired of combination jutsu. Shit. Shinra Tensei. The wave of gravity negated the Baku's pull and defecting the jutsu that the masks had sent at him. Bashino Tenin, shouted Naruto as he pulled the Baku and Danzo off the bridge and dropped it into the deep water, forcing it to either dispel or drown, while Danzo pumped chakra into his legs as he leaped as high as possible into the air. While Danzo was in the air, Naruto was forced to dodge tendril after tendril from Kakazu as the human ragdoll kept him moving, forcing him to go to his four-tailed state once again. Kodo Matsukami, shouted Danzo as he landed in front of Naruto. Naruto froze as he looked into Shisua's eye. Danzo gained a triumphant look across his face as he moved across the water towards his target. Kit, use as much of your chakra and my chakra as possible right now. Even the son of the great Yondaime will follow my. An explosion of hatred and malice filled the air as Kiwabi's chakra surrounded Naruto's body in an even denser and darker layer, immediately jumping to 6 tails and then growing to 7, then 8. I refuse to be controlled by that damned eye again, shouted a powerful voice that wasn't Naruto as the now giant hairless Kiwabi swiped at Danzo, catching him in the chest and ripping him in half, until he once again shimmered in and out of existence. Kiwabi, Danzo, we need to get out of here now, shouted Kakazu as his hearts returned to him and he disappeared in a burst of speed, planning to get the information to Leader Sama as soon as possible. Until we meet again, boy. I'm not sure how you resisted my genjutsu, but I'm not done with you yet, stated Danzo as he too disappeared after dodging another swipe of the Naruto Kiwabi. Kit, stop channeling my chakra or you'll go full 9 tails, shouted Kiwabi, somehow getting through to Naruto because he slowly started to transform back into his former self. The Kiwabi cloak disappeared, revealing the charred and bleeding body of Naruto, who soon after dropped to his knees and let loose a pain-filled howl as his vision turned black and he started to sink into the waves. Unknown location to resist Kodo Matsukami like that, and then to fight back against the Kiwabi's chakra. This child is special. Alright, I believe he passes my preliminary test. He led the enemy away from his comrades and overcame one of the most powerful genjutsus there is. A stronger will I have never seen in a human, stated a tall, lean man with black and white eyes and brown, shoulder-length hair, wearing a dark brown toga. Okay Ra, wake him up, stated Iroh with a slight grin on his face. The short redhead nodded and closed his eyes. With Naruto, it's not your time yet. Awaken, shouted a powerful voice as Naruto found himself wide awake and in agonizing pain about 10 feet under the surface of the water. Leave the water, your tenant will heal you, just get the bridge. Who are you? No, you're not the fuzz bee. Bon, thought Naruto as he fought through the slowly dulling pain to get back to the surface of the water. My name is Ra, now get to the bridge, stated the voice. Naruto decided that it was in his best interest to do just that, as he pulled himself onto the surface of the water and started to move towards the bridge, his skin peeling and regrowing as he moved, keeping an eye on his surroundings to be sure to avoid another attack. He spotted a small group of boats on the end of the unfinished bridge, thugs unloading onto the bridge. By the time he made it back to the bridge, his skin was done peeling and he almost had all the burns healed and bleeding stopped. Unfortunately, His shirt was completely burned off and his pants were now tattered shorts. Naruto jumped up on the bridge just in time to see Gato and his thugs assembled at the end of the badly damaged bridge. I'm starting to think you ninja are just a bunch of pussies. The great demon of the mist can barely hold his own against Scarecrow. And then the two I hired to help ran away after a light show. The one who kills Zabuza gets his paycheck. High ration, thought Naruto as he flashed in front of the bandits. It was obvious to the blonde that his sensei was somewhat worn down and he was still keeping Zabuza in check. Sasuke had lost to Haku, and appeared to be out cold, though still breathing. Sakura was still shaking from the power of the Kiwabi. Shit, almost out of chakra from fighting off that damn genjutsu. Gotta do this the old-fashioned way. Naruto unsealed the immortal phoenix and started a deadly dance of carnage and gore that tunneled through the wave of thugs on his way to Gato. The rest of Team 7 as well as Zabuza and Haku watched in amazement as Naruto tore his way through the countless thugs that made up Gato's army. He is a monster. My mom was right, Zabuza stated at the pink-haired girl in amazement. How in the hell did you become a kunoichi? You think that's bad? I killed a whole class of academy students just to get my headband. This is the ninja world, girl. And if you can handle it, you should just retire now. Sakura looked for Sasuke to save her from the mean man's words, only to see that he still couldn't move. She shrieked and ran to help him. Kakashi looked at his student with shame in his eyes. She was useless, and if he didn't change that soon, she would die very soon. Kakashi turned back to the fight, or slaughter as many would call it, just in time to see Naruto reach the short businessman. What the hell are you? Shouted Gato in fear. After seeing this kid tear through most of his men with a sword bigger than he was, it was understandable that the tiny businessman was terrified. Gato, for the crimes you've committed, your fate is death, stated Naruto as he placed his hand on top of the short man's head, and as slowly as possible ripped his soul out. This fate was too good for you, stated Naruto as he turned back to see all the remaining bandits looking at him like the devil himself was standing before them. Boo! The remaining bandits fled the other way. Unfortunate. It was towards a still somewhat fresh Kakashi and Zabuza, who tore them apart. Good, everyone is safe now, I can sleep, thought Naruto as he fell face first onto what was left of the bridge. A moment later, Kakashi was next to his fallen student. Unknown location. Good, he will make a fine champion. Though he will still have to take my test, stated Rock. As well as mine, but I agree with you this time, you damn cat. He will make a great champion, stated Iroh. He looked to see Ra in deep thought. What's on your mind, Ra? Why was he so badly damaged when he got to 8 tails? It doesn't make any sense that he can use 4 tails with only light burns, 6 tails with slightly worse burns, then at 8 tails his skin melts, stated Ra quietly. Simple, came a voice behind the three. They spun around to see a tall, buff, white-haired man with a long beard and pure white eyes. What can we do for you, Lord Jinso? Asked Rock. Oh, not much. I was bored and decided to come visit, only to find you three watching another human, stated Jinso. His voice, while deep and powerful, held an air of childishness. What is so special about this boy that has all of you interested in him? That would be my fault, sir. He signed a contract with my lowers, the Toads, and I decided to check into him a bit further, states Ra as he held his hand up, motioning the white-haired man to the giant crystal dome. Another Toad summoner catch your interest? That Minato was quite a fine human, though he only found the answer after his life ended. Am I to assume that this young man has a superior heart to the last champion you three chose? Asked Jinso as he began to watch the key points of the boy's life: beatings, slanders, the Uchiha incident, learning of his parents and burden, his first kill, the test of the immortal phoenix, and so on. Very impressive. The boy has a perfect heart and a wonderful mind. Has he passed any tests yet other than the immortal phoenix? He has passed the great question and both all of our preliminary tests. I'm ready to begin the training if the others deem him worthy, stated Ra. I'm going to give him the unstoppable dragon and see if his soul is in fact pure, though I doubt he will fail, stated Iroh. I will give him the ultimate choice test. I'm not as convinced as the others are that he is ready to become the champion yet, stated Rock. Alright then. Call for me when he begins his training, stated Jinso as he started to disappear. Oh, you might want to check in with the Toads. Fukasaku might be small, but his wife will beat the shit out of you if you steal his summoner. Wait sir, you said you knew why he burned so badly as 8 tails, but not 6, stated Ra. Yes, it is quite simply really only half of Kiwabi is sealed in the young boy. It would make sense that Kiwabi's chakra would not mix well when the boy tried to mix it with his own, stated Jinso, who then fully disappeared into nothingness. This proves a problem, stated Rock. What would that be? While his spiritual energy is strong, his physical energy will be much stronger due to Kiwabi. Can he learn to harness true nature with being off balance? Questioned the brown-haired man. We will have to work around this. That's the end guys. Make sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment letting me know if you want the next part.